Welcome back to the Black Side of. This is the podcast where I just talk about cool topics. This time we're still working with Friday the 13th. We stopped at 5 because Ursula needed to get some sleep. So I hope I didn't scare you too much, Urs.
You scared the shit out of me that night. It really was. I was like that meme you see on TikTok when you're taking a shower, and then you hear a noise and you're like, that was there. Yes, that was me. That was me. But I jumped a few times throughout the night, and it was a little edgy, but I got through the night. So I don't know what to expect for today with this story. I don't know.
Well, hopefully I don't you'll be able to sleep after this, the way that the story goes from here. So
we'll see.
But we'll do a little small recap. I'm going to put links into the other shows that we did together in the description below. So if you want to catch up on the previous works, just hit that up, and we will. You'll be able to catch up with us from this point on. So quick recap. We know Jason's dead. We saw his head get a real close cut. We know Tommy's in probably some psych ward right now from probably murdering Pam in the last movie. We don't know what happened with him. He just showed up with this mask, Roy's mask on, holding a knife. So with that being said, so what do you think will happen? Let's start there. What do you think is going to happen with Tommy? Or are we even going to see Tommy?
I think we will see Tommy. Tommy will have a cameo appearance. And just for those who do not know, I've never watched any of these movies at all. I'm not a movie person, and I'm damn sure not a horror movie person. So these are true, just pure speculations. I think Tommy will make a cameo appearance. And from what I learned from you, usually if somebody goes off by themselves, or if they're having sex, they're gonna unalive themselves. So
unalive.
I don't know.
And I've really picked up on that. I'm like, man, I should use unalive more often in videos. So
yeah, YouTube likes it. They don't like the other terms.
Maybe unalive is going to be the new word, so I can get more views or maybe get monetized one day. I don't know. But if you see right behind me, you notice that Camp Crystal Lake is now condemned.
Oh yeah, it is.
Actually, in part 6, the towns wanted just to get away from the curse of Jason, just completely get away from him. So they renamed the town Forest Green, just to give the town a new, fresh coat of paint, if you will. They don't want to. They don't want to no more Jason, his mama killing folks. They want to have decent people come live there and prosper and all the other good American stuff. So they renamed
Find outstanding citizens.
Right. Lake Forest Green.
Got it.
So we open up with Tommy. He's driving a pickup truck that he stole from a mental hospital that he was at with his friend. I don't know. I'm not going to, speculate your age, Urs, but are you familiar with the show Welcome Back, Carter?
Yes.
Yeah, so Horshack from that movie is the friend that escaped the mental hospital with him. And he's like, man, you got to be nuts. They're going to lock us up for life. They're never going to let us out after this.
I don't know how you talked me into this, Tommy. Hell, I must be crazy.
And he's telling him, like, Tommy, we should turn back. We're going to get in big trouble. Please, just let's forget about this. And he's like, no, I got to do this. I got to kill Jason. I got to see him dead. Like, he's like, I thought you already saw him dead. He's like, no, Jason belongs in hell, and I plan to send him there.
Jason belongs in hell. I'm going to see he gets there.
His plan was he had Jason's original mask, not the Roy mask, but the original red triangle mask, can of gasoline, and he wanted to cremate Jason's body just so he would have reassurance that Jason's never coming back.
And should.
So him and his friend Rorschach, I'm sorry, they dig up his body and they see Jason's there rotting 15 years from previous, from when he was a little 11, 12-year-old boy. And and then all the memories of that night from the fourth one, the final chapter, just started rolling in his head, where he was hacking at Jason, die. And so he just loses it, goes get a piece of wrought iron from the fencing.
Oh, geez, here we go.
Goes into his grave and just starts stabbing Jason.
Hey, what's that for? Oh, shit.
I hate you. Please.
Did they show it?
Yeah, they showed it. I mean, he's a corpse. He just, withered away at this point, right? So, Rorschach just looking at him like, damn, he really messed you up, man. So they grab so he stabs him one time. Pay attention. Stabs him one time. Leaves the piece of iron in him while he's going to go get the gasoline. There's a thunderstorm coming in.
Here it comes.
So there's a thunderstorm coming in ever so slowly, and then all of a sudden, a big bolt of lightning hits the fencing that's left in Jason. Next thing you know, Jason opens his eyes. They done Frankenstein Jason.
What in the hell? Are you serious?
So the corpse of Jason gets up out of his grave. He sees Tommy. He goes straight for Tommy, and then his boy is like, "Oh hell no!" So he grabs the shovel they used to dig him up with, try to hit him over the head. Jason turns around, punches him through the gut, and grabs his heart while he's punching him through the gut. Like,
what? What?
Yeah, it's the craziest. It's the craziest scene. So Tommy is like trying to pour gasoline on him while he's walking towards him and light a match. But of course, there's a thunderstorm coming through. It's starting to rain. He can't get the match lit. So he just gets the hell out of there. And then Jason picks up the hockey mask that Tommy had brought, puts it on himself. Jason is now zombified into this undead being. And he just turns to the screen and you just see them, focusing on the hockey mask itself.
I have a question.
Right.
He punched him through the chest to his heart? Is that what
Yes. He punched him so hard that it went through his chest and he grabbed his heart at the same time.
Oh shit! Are you serious?
Oh yeah, it was.
Did they show it?
Yeah, they showed that. And I think they might have had a couple of beats happen while they did it.
That's gross.
So yeah, so basically, Jason is a Frankenstein zombie monster at this point. That's how they brought him back, because he zombified Jason. So now Jason's on the loose, heading back to what he knows is Camp Crystal Lake, but it's called Forest Green. So
is
Tommy,
that why? That's why they condemned with that picture behind you. They condemned Crystal Lake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Tommy is beelining it straight to the sheriff's office. He runs in. He's like, "Yo, sheriff, Jason's alive. You need to evacuate the town. You need to call the state marshals. You need to get help."
Right.
And hold on. Who are you? He's like, "Tommy Jarvis." And he like, Tommy Jarvis, I know that name. Ain't you that crazy kid that parents got murdered a few years ago? He's like, yeah, that's me. But I messed up. He's like, hey, calm down, kid. Ain't you in a mental institution? How are you out? He's like, oh, I escaped because I wanted to kill Jason, but I accidentally revived him. He's like, yeah, whatever. Hey, tells the deputy, throw his ass in the jail cell. We'll
no.
And he's like, no, you gotta believe me. Jason is on the loose.
Jason is alive. We dug up his body. I was gonna cremate it.
Hold it, whoa. What's your name, son?
Well, Tommy Jarvis, but look, we've got to do something. He's even more powerful now.
Aren't you the kid whose mother and friends were killed by that maniac?
Yeah. Jason murdered
You've
him.
been in some psychiatric clinic ever since, haven't you?
People are gonna die if you don't. He's like, look here, kid. This ain't Crystal Lake anymore. This is Camp Forest Green. We're trying to get rid of the dirty secrets around here, and we don't need you around here anymore. So in the morning, we're gonna escort you out of town.
No way, you gotta listen to me. Jason's coming here, he's after me. I tried to destroy him, but I fucked up. You got that right, punk.
You listen to me. I'm sorry about what happened to you and your folks years ago, but no one in Forest Green wants to be reminded of what that maniac did here. That's why we changed the name. People want to forget this was Crystal Lake. They don't need some kid stirring up Jason shit again.
You're gonna be sorry you didn't listen to me.
So while he's pleading with the cops to help, you're a big fan of Scandal, right?
I've never seen it.
Well, the person that played Fitz, the president, this is his first movie role.
Now I know who that is. Yeah, he was in Ghost as well.
Yeah, Tony Goldwyn.
Yes, I like him.
Yeah, so him and his girlfriend are riding down this, muddy trail because they're actually camp counselors. They're the lead camp counselors. That's they don't reopen Camp Crystal Lake up. They're traveling down this muddy road, and they're like, "Oh, I can't believe we went down this way." There's no ways in this. The ways, mapping app, none of that. They're using a big paper map. Like, oh, I thought I could cut through here and get here, and we can get there faster. So his girlfriend stops the car all of a sudden. And he's like, what are you stopping for? She's like, because when I see a big scary man in a hockey mask holding a spear, that can't be good.
I say we stop the car, get out, and start screaming for help.
I was just kidding, Elizabeth.
Darren, we better turn around.
Why?
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
So she turns around and starts backing up, but she's about to dip off into a ravine. He's like, no, stop, chill out. It's probably one of the kids playing a joke on us. Let me go in and talk to him. So he grabs a gun out of the glove compartment. He's like, hey, buddy, you're going to move out the way so we can get past here. And so Jason's like, first he stabs a tire. He's like, oh, you're going to get it now, buddy. So he attempts to shoot him, but he's that same wrought iron fence that Tommy stabbed him with earlier.
Oh.
Yeah, Fitz gets it right there, and he just tosses him like he's just a sack of potatoes or whatever.
Darren, get back in here right now. He'll kill you.
And if I get him first.
They showed it going through him?
Well, not really. I mean, they show him getting impaled, but it was more funnier the fact that he just chunking this, grown ass man over his shoulder like it ain't nothing.
He is so ratchet.
So then he stabs at the window, and the lady in the car, she's jumping out like, oh my God. So she's trying to reason with him. She don't realize this is a zombie dude, So she's like handing her credit cards, American Express, whatever.
Oh.
And she's like, just take whatever you want. Just leave me alone. And then he disappears. But then she's in the mud, looking around like, where'd he go? Where'd he go? And then he just jumps out of nowhere on top of her and stabs her in the face. But the only thing The only thing you see is like the bubbles from the water, the little mud puddle that she was happened to be in, coming to the top with her being.
Oh.
And in the director's cut, he had the American Express floating away. I don't know if you remember American Express old motto was "Never leave home without it." He was trying to make a joke where he had the American Express floating in the water.
Okay, that was good though.
Actually, this is when stuff started turning comedic in the horror movie world. You know,
it did.
Yeah, it started adding little elements of comedy to it. You'll see when we go along, especially this movie. This movie was full of like little one-liners or whatever. Back to the sheriff's office. The kids come in like, hey, from the other counselors, the junior counselors. They come in, hey, you know, our counselors didn't come home last night or come to the camp. You know, could you go look for them? And they're like, yeah, that's cool. So then Tommy is like, that's because Jason probably killed them. Y'all in danger. Get the hell out of here. And
come on, Sheriff, can't you put out like an all-points bulletin or something? You know, that would be decent.
Best I can do is call the station in Carpenter and have them keep a lookout for them.
I've got a bad feeling what might have happened to them. Well, hopefully they're fine, but with Jason out there...
Shut up.
Jason is out there. He's looking for me. He's probably headed back to the camp.
I told you to shut up.
You mean the Jason of Camp Blood?
Yes.
No. Take your friends back to the camp. I'll let you know if I hear anything about your camp leaders.
Don't beat him up too bad. It's kind of cute.
Megan, leave.
The girl, you know, the final girl in this one, she walks over to him like, hey, you're kind of cute. Who are you? He's like, my name is Tommy, but that doesn't matter. Y'all need to get out of here. Y'all are in mortal danger. And the sheriff is like, man, if you don't shut up, I'm going to kick your ass. That's my daughter you talking to. He's like, well, your daughter's in danger, sir. So what we doing about this? So the sheriff is like, okay, y'all go look for him. Don't worry about it, kids. You know, we'll let you know later. And Tommy is yelling at him, no, Jason's back. Jason's here. Y'all need to get out. Clear that camp. He don't know what Forest Green is. He just knows Camp Crystal Lake, and that's what that is. So they all go back to the camp or whatever, and the sheriff's daughter is like, well, what if he was right? You know, what if there is, you know, what if they did get killed by, you know, a Jason that's in the woods right now? And the only thing I can only think of one thing that's scarier than that. And they all looking like, well, what's scarier than that? Kids. A bus full of kids came to the camp.
You do know what today's date is, don't you? I can think of only one thing, even more terrifying.
What? Hey, the kids are here.
Oh, no.
So this is actually the first Friday the 13th where the kids were involved in the campsite. So you actually have children in play here now. So, you know. So
it's like a feast right there.
Right. So Tommy gets escorted. So Tommy's driving his car. The sheriff, his deputy, is following him out of town. So they're driving along, and then all of a sudden, Tommy makes a quick right turn, and he's heading to the gravesite because he knows that his friend is dead, and he can prove to the sheriff, hey, there's an empty grave. My boy is dead. You know, y'all should believe me now. What Tommy didn't know was the caretaker, he had saw that someone dug up the grave because his boy's body fell in Jason's coffin and closed shut earlier.
Oh, so damn.
Like, somebody messed with Jason's grave. Let me cover this up right quick before I get in trouble or whatever, right? So when, you know, Tommy, you know, gets to the gravesite, runs over there, you know, they tackle him before he actually gets to the grave. He's like, yeah, look over there. My boy is dead over there. Check it out. And the sheriff looks at it like, well, shit, Jason must have got cold and covered himself up. That doesn't look disturbed.
Sheriff, wait, get up! Please, Sheriff, dug it up.
Wow. You must have got chilly in the night and pulled the dirt back over.
It's all right. Somebody covered it over.
He like, no. Look, dig him up. My boy is down there. And the caretaker's like, what y'all talking about, Sheriff? And Sheriff like, oh, don't worry about him. He's a nut job. We're getting him rid of him. He like, dig him. I ain't digging up shit. How's he know about that? Oh shit. He takes a sip like, oh, he almost got caught.
No problem, Martin. Just a vagrant kid. We got it under control.
Did you cover up Jason's grave? What? What are you talking about?
Don't concern yourself, Martin. This kid needs treatment.
Jason's not in his grave. How is it? Dig it up! You gotta dig it up! You gotta dig it up! Dig him up? Does he think I'm a farthead?
So finally, they get him out of town. He was like, they hand him his keys because his deputy drove his truck out into the county line, and like, yeah, you're leaving Forest Green. Please don't ever return here. We want to keep our secret. Have a good day. So Tommy like, oh fuck, I'm gonna get back. So meanwhile, you know, they show the cannon fodder. Oh shoot.
You got me jumpy over here.
I done broke my desk. All right.
Jason did it. Jason did it.
Right?
His ghost did it. He said, stop talking stuff about me. And
Stop talking shit about me. So we actually go back to the camp, and, you know, we see the cannon fodder. They're just kind of, you know, dealing with the kids. The kids are like, this is lame. You know, what are we doing here or whatever, right?
If this is as exciting as it gets, we're in big trouble, dude.
So one of the dudes, he sneaks off with his girlfriend. His girlfriend.
See, here it comes. I already know. Go ahead.
So his girlfriend has this big, we forget the caretaker gets murdered. Like, he's walking home drinking, and he throws this bottle of empty booze, and he doesn't hear it crash. Jason caught it, broke the bottle, and stabbed him.
Where? No, don't tell me.
They didn't show it. They just showed it. They got stabbed. And at the same time, a little couple was getting engaged on the lake. They just happened to see this happen, and so they run into their Vespa trying to get out of there. But Jason catches them and dispatches them too. So
you said dispatches them.
Yeah, they're done for. So
Darling, you're gonna be the death of me. What a way to go, huh?
That was kind of cool when he threw the bottle and you said Jason caught it.
Yeah, Jason's caught it like a football.
That's kind of cool.
Got it. Let me hand this back to you. So
hand it back.
So one of the counselors sneaks off with his girlfriend or whatever. She has his RV that she done stole from her stepdad. So they're having sex in the back of the RV. What did I tell you about sex in horror movies? Well, what's the three things?
Well.
No.
If you don't mention a person's name, that means they're done for, like cannon fodder.
They're cannon fodder.
And if they're having sex, somebody's getting impaled.
They're done. So
they're done. And I was gonna say if they're black, but you proved that wrong.
No. Part two, they had a black survivor, we assume.
Yeah, so that I can't say that. What's the third one?
Never say I'm gonna be right back because you're not coming back.
Oh,
it's Scream rules. It's literally Scream rules in this. So
I think the trauma made me forget that too.
Yeah, don't have sex, don't do drugs, and never say you're gonna be right back because you're never coming back. So they're having sex to this rock music. She's like, yeah, give it to me, daddy. And he's like, chick, how long we got till the song is over? And she's like, oh, about 10 minutes. He's like, I can't do this for 10 minutes.
You gotta keep this into the song.
How much longer?
It's only 10 more minutes.
Yeah, get rid of him. Like, sir.
So all of a sudden the power in the RV goes out. They look outside. She's like, oh, the power unplugged some kind of way. Can you go out there and plug it back in? So he's reluctant, like, yeah, all right, cool. So he goes out there and he sees it's not only just unplugged, but someone snapped it in half. And he's like, what? And so she comes out and kind of scares him. She's like, what did you do to the power cord? I didn't, but if we're smart, we need to make this place a memory right now. So
What are you doing? I don't know, but I say unless you want to look exactly like it, we make this place a memory right now.
So they get in the RV. He's having trouble cranking it up. She makes it crank for him. So they're driving. He's rocking out to some rock music. But Jason does snuck on board when they both went outside to check the plug.
Oh my God.
So he kidnaps her into the bathroom. He's rocking out. He's swerving down the street. He's like, yeah. And he thinking she's doing the same thing in the back, but nah, she's getting murdered in the bathroom. Like Jason's like throwing her side to side in the bathroom.
Serious?
And then finally he just takes her head and just smushes it into the wall where her face imprint comes out on the other side.
What?
It's nuts. So then he comes out of the bathroom.
But what's nuts is like, you're like, yeah, he just smushed her face. Like, that is traumatizing to me. Oh my God. Go ahead.
So he comes out of the bathroom. The guy's name is Court. It just popped in my head. So Court is like oblivious to what's going on behind him. He just happened to look up into the rear view mirror and then sees Jason. And then Jason sticks a knife through the side of his head. And just sits back.
Can you warn me before you? Damn. You're just like, yeah, he was driving down the street. And then he put a knife in his head. You got to fluff me up a little.
I will fluff you next time.
We need a fluff girl here to at least. Oh, go ahead.
So
this is a lot for my brain to process.
So of course the RV rears to the side of the road and flips over. Of course, Jason's a zombie, so none of this stuff hurts him. He just jumps out of the RV and stands on top of it like he's Arnold Schwarzenegger and Conan the Barbarian or something.
Oh my God.
So the next day, you see, actually this happened earlier during the day. A couple of people were on a corporate retreat. You know, those little, team building exercises that executives do. So they're playing paintball. Two guys are looking for one of the last executive that hadn't got shot yet. And they're looking around and she sneaks out of nowhere, shoots them both with paint. She's like, oh yeah, I got y'all dead, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, I thought somebody got you earlier. She's like, no, I'm clean. Look at me. And she's like, yeah, missing two more guys. Well, one more guy, one geeky guy and one angry guy. The angry guy, because he got shot by her too with the paint. And he's like, has a machete. He's hacking through the woods like that dumb chick, just the most misogynistic things you can say about a woman. Y'all belong in the kitchen, not in the boardroom, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, okay.
And the one time he pulled his hand back with the machete in his head, Jason grabbed his arm. And let's just say he was without an arm for
Dumb
Yeah.
Did he?
He ripped
I
his
want
arm
to ask, but I do want to know.
What's that? Yeah, he ripped his arm off with the machete in there. And then he smushed his face into a tree that just happened to have a little smiley face on it. I tell you, they try to add little one-liner comedy stuff in this one.
Oh my
Just
god!
Just to make it more palatable, I guess. So then when they're looking for the nerdy guy, the three people, the two that got shot by the woman and the woman, Jason just jumps out of the trees out of nowhere with the machete he just took from the other guy.
Oh,
Am I fluffing you enough right now?
I need a little more fluff action.
Well,
Just a little bit.
they're all like, what? What? Who is this? Like they're all stunned or whatever. And Jason just kind of cocked back and 1, 2, 3
At the same time?
at the same damn time. All
That's
they hear is some
creative.
stuff. And so the geeky guy, he sees this. He's like, holy shit. So he raises his paintball gun up and tries to shoot Jason with it. Jason looks like, what the hell? And then just starts walking after the guy. Walking, mind you, he's walking after the guy. And the guy's running for his life. Help, help, somebody save me, somebody save me. And eventually Jason gets him too. Like, yeah, they just find parts of him later on. So,
And he deserved it for shooting him with the paintball. That's what he gets. Good job, Jason.
So in the meantime, Tommy sneaks back into town. He hooks up with the sheriff's daughter. And he was like, look, I know how to stop Jason. I just need supplies. And she was like, well, I'll help you get whatever you need. Whatever you need, I got you. So they ended up going on a high-speed chase while they're gathering supplies for him and get caught by the sheriff and his men. They throw Tommy in jail,
Again.
The sheriff is like telling his daughter, leave this guy alone. He's bad news. He's a mental patient. He's crazy. And she's like, I don't know, Dad. He sounds pretty convincing. And all my friends starting to disappear for some reason. So back at the camp, Jason just starts taking people out the counselors out one by one. The only black chick.
I was going to ask you that. Were there any black people in
Yeah,
there?
there's one black chick in the movie. And,
we know she.
Well, she thought that Court, the guy that got killed in the RV, they thought that he was outside playing with them. So they poured water on, they kind of ducked underneath the windowsill and kind of poured water thinking he's outside of there. So her friend looks, turns her head. The black chick, she's looking out the window like, well, where is he at? And Jason just kind of snatches her through the window.
Guys, try not to wake the kids.
And poor girl. You ever seen how an owl looks around?
Yes.
Well, let's just say that she turned into an owl very instantly.
Oh, are you? Did it make noise?
She just kind of like, like you just saw her face, like she had on this jersey, and you saw her face, like how the name is on the back of the jersey. Her face was the same direction that the name was on the back of the jersey.
Oh shit!
And
Damn.
the other girl that was with her, we really don't know what happened to her. We just know that she got slaughtered. Like she's eating popcorn in her room, like blah 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 la la la. Life is good. And then she hears a noise outside, and she opens the door, and Jason just goes in the room with her and closes the cabin door, and all you hear is screaming and blood just going everywhere at that point.
Damn.
So, but yeah, she really got it. So cut back to Tommy in jail. The sheriff's daughter stays to kind of keep him company or whatever, right? So they kind of looking at each other like, yeah, I'm gonna get you out of here. Just play along with me, or whatever, right? So they created a version. Mind you, this is a Keystone Cop that's watching them or whatever, right? He is like, I think he steals like a sketch pad the sheriff's daughter's working on, and Tommy's like, yeah, if you want it, come get it. And the deputy's like, oh, I'll get it for you. And the sheriff's daughter, ambushes him, takes his gun, points it at him, takes his keys, let Tommy out, and they get the hell on while throwing him in jail, which is probably actually the safest place for him at this point.
Exactly.
So kind of find out Tommy is grabbing, mind you, this is the 80s. This was like the fall off of Satanic Panic. I don't know if you're familiar with that. So he's getting books on the occult of how to, bind demons and all this other stuff, right? So they finally made it to the camp, and the sheriff and his men, they follow him there. And because I think some kind of way they got there. I forgot which way they went. But we find out Jason doesn't kill kids. Like, he's walking through one of the cabins, and one of the little girls are awake, and she sees him. She's like, what the?
She didn't. She wasn't scared, or just
she closed her eyes and started saying the Lord's Prayer, and Jason just kind of looks over at her like, and then he hears somebody pulling up, which is the sheriff's and his team. So he leaves her alone, and so we figured that he doesn't kill kids.
Lay down to sleep. I pray with my soul again. If I should die before I wake, I pray for my soul again. Now that I'm down to sleep, I pray with my soul again. If I should die before I wake, I pray with my soul again.
Basically.
I wonder why.
I don't know. Maybe he saw himself in her. I don't know. Every time he hears his mom or see a kid, like in part 4, he folds. So
interesting.
So the sheriff runs in. He was like, everybody safe, all the kids safe. He gets all the kids in one cabin, and he's like, yeah, just stay here, kids. So basically, his team gets dispatched one by one. Like, one guy, just he stabs one guy into a boat. He snaps the neck of another one. So
did they show it? Did they show it?
They showed it. They showed them taking them out one by one. It was like, a sniper or whatever. Pow, pow, gotcha.
What?
So this. The sheriff gets face to face with him. He thinks it's Tommy. So then he takes a shotgun. Pow. Jason falls. Gets right back up. Pow. Falls again. Gets right back up. Pow. This keeps happening for about 6 shots. And then he takes out his revolver. Pow, pow, pow. Jason ain't backing down. He's a zombie. You can't kill him with bullets. So the sheriff just throws his gun at him and starts running.
Now, see, he deserved whatever. Well, I don't blame him. You gotta do something. Anything.
So Tommy and Megan, that's the sheriff's daughter's name. They make it to the camp. They go check on the kids and they make sure the kids are okay. Okay, so they tell them get back under the beds. Don't come out until somebody comes and gets you. And they hear Megan calling for Dad. Dad, where are you? Where are you? And another one-liner comes up, and one kid says to the other, "Yeah, we're dead meat, aren't we?" And he looks at the other kid. He's like, well, what were you going to be when you grew up?
Oh.
I promise. Go lie down. Stay there.
What do you think?
I think we're dead meat. Real dead meat.
So, what were you gonna be when you grew up?
Oh.
So come to find out, Tommy gets a boulder. I don't know where they found a boulder at, but they get this large boulder, some chains, and they go out on a boat. And Tommy tells her, look, you're done. Get your father and get the hell out of here. I got this.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, no. I need to find my dad before we do anything. She's like, plus I'm here to help you. He's like, you can't help me. This is between me and him. I got to do this. So then, so he goes out into the water. Jason catches Megan, about to squeeze her head, like,
oh God,
like a nipple. But then the sheriff sees that and sees that she's getting, about to be unalived. So the sheriff runs and tackles Jason, like, no, leave her alone. And he grabs this big rock and just starts going to town on Jason's face. Mind you, like, Jason's on his back and he's like mounted on top of him, right? And he just, trying to smash his head in. Jason just pushes him back off so slowly to where he's folded the other way. Basically broke his back.
Oh. I was hoping you wouldn't say that. Oh.
So Jason,
that was creative though.
Yeah, it was. So Tommy is like luring Jason out into the water, like, Jason, I'm here. It's me, Tommy. I'm here. This is who you want. I'm the one that killed you. Come and get me. So Jason lets Megan go, and he goes out into the water, and he makes this big old circle of fire around the boat.
Jason, come on! Come and get me! It's me you won't remember!
And gets his chain ready to put around his neck. They start struggling a couple times. He finally gets the chain around his neck. The boat collapses. The boulder falls into the water. Jason's trapped underwater. Tommy's trying to, get away. He's holding Tommy down, like, yeah, I'm holding. You ain't going nowhere. You're just gonna drown and sit next to me for eternity. So, according to the books he was reading, the best way to bind a demon like Jason is to put him back where they say he first died in the lake when he was a little boy.
Oh, really?
So Jason can't move really. So Megan sees that he ain't came up from under the water yet, so she goes out there to get him. Jason grabs her leg.
Dummy.
About to pull her under. She takes the about to get graphic here.
Thank you for warning me.
So she takes the propeller of the boat, turns that some bitch sideways, and Jason looks like, oh shit, and the propeller starts. damn near
What the-
decapitates him.
Oh, that is awful.
So
Did
Tommy
they show it? Wait,
Yeah.
did they show? They did.
Yeah, they showed the propeller hitting him in the side of the neck or whatever. So of course he lets Tommy go. Megan gets Tommy back onto the shore, gives him CPR. He starts breathing again. All the kids are cheering. Yay, he's alive. He's not dead. He's not unalive. Yay. And he was like, it's over. He can never leave the lake again. So we assume that Megan and Tommy lived happily ever after. We never hear from Tommy again after this movie.
Really?
Really?
I was getting kind of attached to him.
Yeah. I mean, he did 3 movies, so it's time to go.
Did the fans say anything about not seeing him again? Or
No, they never. Well, we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
So, but they show a shot of Jason, and he's very much alive under the water. And he just looks into the camera like all pissed off, like, yeah, I'm coming back. Don't worry, I'm coming back to get y'all.
Oh my God.
So that's the end of part 6. Jason Lives is the subtitle. Friday 13th, part 6, Jason Lives. Because they had to do something to bring him back, because people were pissed off at part 5 just for the fact that it was an imposter Jason. So this is more for fan service than anything.
Interesting.
But you know what this movie had the audacity to do?
How much did they make?
They didn't make that much. They made $19.4 million off of a $3 million budget. Mind you, they were making like double that off of $2 million budgets before. So that just kind of let you know that the horror genre was starting to change again.
Right.
So it started to decline.
Interesting.
So that's the end of part 6. Do we have any notables there other than Horshack from Welcome Back, Carter? You had Fitz from Scandal, if you're a big Scandal fan.
That was kind of cool. Yeah, I never knew that.
His girlfriend in the movie that got unalived with him, she was actually the director's wife, who was a part-time actress. So that was kind of cool.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. So that was pretty much the highlights of that. Just the fact that, they turned Jason into a zombie.
Okay.
He's out here, doing whatever the hell he want to do now, because ain't nobody killing him. And my only thing was, okay, you have all these deputies and these sheriffs get murdered by somebody, and no one dragged the lake to see if they could find a body down there.
Exactly. It's like Lake Lanier up in that.
Exactly like Lake Lanier. Like, a body is down there, but ain't nobody checking for it.
Nobody, but people still keep going back to Lake Lanier.
And that's